Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and in this video I want to share with you a brilliant attacking game played by the magician from Riga, Mikhail Tal. At the time of this game, Tal was 17 years old and his opponent was Teodors Zeids. The game was played in 1952 at Latvian Championship Quarterfinal. But before starting our game, consider subscribing in order not to miss my future uploads. And now without further ado, let's get started with this fascinating game and see what happened on the board. Tal, who was playing with the white pieces, opened up with d4 and Zeids responded with c6, c4, d5. We have Slav defense, knight f3, knight f6, knight c3. We have the 3 knights variation, d takes c4. In here, of course, white can go for a4, preventing any possible b5 moves in order to play later e3 and bishop takes c4. But as Tal was a very aggressive player from his early childhood, after d takes c4, he gambited and went for Geller gambit by going for e4. He is grabbing the initiative in the space, but at the same time is allowing black to play b5, thus saving the pawn on c4. Here comes e5, knight d5, a4. White is challenging black's pawn structure on the queen side, and black goes for the exchange of knights. B takes c3, a6, bishop e2. Well, instead of playing bishop e2, according to modern theory, in here capturing on b5 and then playing knight g5 is considered to be a better continuation. With this move, white is freeing the f3 square for the queen and is threatening queen f3, and if f6 then anyways queen f3, and this leads to very sharp positions and gives white nice attacking chances. But in our game after a6 we have slightly passive bishop e2 move, bishop b7, which is a mistake. Well, moving away the bishop from h3 c8 diagonal allows white to gain advantage. Instead, it was better to put the bishop on f5. The bishop on f5 looks more active, but in our game we have this passive looking bishop b7 move. And the problem with this move is that in here, by going for e6, by going for this pawn sacrifice, white could totally demoralize black's position. But instead, after bishop b7, Tal chose a strong knight g5 move, but this move is not as strong as e6. h6 by Zeids, knight e4, e6, bishop a3. Well, instead of playing bishop a3, the engine suggests a very beautiful bishop h5 move with the idea of playing queen h3. This looks pretty nice, and black can't even kick away the bishop because of this knight f6 check. This gives white nice chances, but in our game we have bishop a3. Tal is offering the exchange of dark squared bishops, which black accepted, after which we have castling by both sides, knight d7, f4. There it goes. Tal wants to launch an attack on the king side, queen e7, rook a1, the rook was hanging, knight b6, queen d2, and knight takes a4, which is a mistake, after which black's position goes down quickly. Here Tal played f5, and after e takes f5, already at this point the threat is f6, you have to capture. Tal made a powerful move and he announced the check from f6. Look at this beautiful knight sacrifice, guys. Now if g takes f6, then queen takes h6 is coming. Now the threat is e takes f6, and if f takes e5, then the rook is coming and you are in trouble, sir. If f4, then this time rook h3 is winning, and in the end of the day black is quickly losing his queen. But let's go back on move 17, where black made this knight takes a4 move and answered the question which move is considered to be the best for black. It turns out that the best defensive move for black is rook d8. Now you will see the idea hidden behind this move. Now if f5, then e takes f5, and if knight f6 check, then already black can cold-heartedly accept the piece sacrifice, and if queen takes h6, then f takes e5, and after rook takes f5, black has this rook d6 move, and the rook is successfully covering the 7th rank, and in here it's black who is winning. Yes, in this case black is managing to successfully neutralize the attack. That's why it was important to play that rook d8 move in order to bring the rook on the 6th rank. But in our game after queen d2 we have knight takes a4, Black grabbed a pawn but in typical positions. That's not playing an essential role. Tal kept on attacking on the king side. We have already seen this knight f6 sacrifice, which black didn't accept, played king h8 and rook takes f5. Rook d8, rook f1. When you are attacking, all your pieces should join the attack, right? Bishop c8 and rook h5. The threat is rook takes h6. That's why black moved back his queen on f8 square, but this time we have rook f4 and again the threat is rook takes h6. Here black went for a desperate knight takes c3 move. Of course in here Tal could even capture on c3. This is also winning, but he played rook h4. Well, what is interesting in here, the engine says that there are two equally strong moves. Both rook h4 and rook takes h6 are allowing white to checkmate black king in 14 moves. As I've already mentioned, Tal played rook h4, but this is also winning. Let's take a quick look. If knight e4, then rook takes h6 is coming, and then knight takes e4. Black king is in a mating net. White can quickly checkmate black king. But in our game we have rook h4. Knight takes a2 check and king f2. Tal is not even bothering himself to move away his queen from this essential c1 h6 diagonal. He keeps it on that diagonal in order to go for rook takes h6 destructive move. g5, a desperate attempt. Already at this point it's difficult to advise black good moves. Black's position is totally lost. g5 was played and there it goes, rook takes h6. Now if king g7, then queen takes g5, checkmate is coming. Black could already resign, and he could do it long time ago, but even captured on h6 and resigned only after king f8, rook h8 check. In here black resigned, and actually black king is in a mating net. Let's take a look at one of the possible lines how white can checkmate black king. That's why finally after rook h8 check on move 29, Teodors Zeids resigned. A very impressive attacking game by young Mikhail Tal. In the end, let's also solve a chess puzzle where the task is to find the winning move for white. It's white to move, and I will wait for your answer in the comment section. Actually, there is a mate in 3. Thanks for watching. In the end, here are more suggestions for you. Feel free to check them out as well. I will see you in my next video. Take care.